What up, people? I came up this video, laziest way to build an aesthetic body, and I thought I would like look, see if it's legit. I'm not familiar with the creator. I'm not familiar with the video prior to this. I just saw it and I thought to make a reaction immediately. So let's just get right into it. Because I'm something of a lazy trainer myself, so maybe this is something of my fourth too. So let's see what the guy says.
Hi, I'm Wayne, and for years I'd slave away in the gym pushing really hard and I'd look like this. That's pretty discouraging. Now imagine doing half of the work, just being really lazy and still getting double, triple, quadruple the results and now looking like.
I think the major difference here is not the musculature, but he's just gotten leaner. But let's just continue to watch the video.
This. Now, in most things in life, being lazy is a shortcut to failure. But when it comes to fitness and building an aesthetic body, it can actually be a superpower. Let me explain the laziest way to build an aesthetic body and why that might work for you.
See, because I'm naturally lazy, so it's again like, where do you start from? Like, most people that succeed in fitness are meatheads that like to work hard. So that's why a lot of that advice emphasize recovery. But whereas I am naturally lazy guy, so actually I end up emphasizing always the hard work part, just to try to counteract my own natural tendency. But yeah, let's see.
Let's get into it. So let's imagine you're a lazy guy. You don't want to do any extra work than is necessary to build a body that kind of looks good when you take your shirt off, when you go to the beach, when you wear clothes, it just looks good, right? That's what you care about. Let me just break it down for you. And step one is to train only 2 to 3 times a week. Personally, I do it 3 times a week. I think that's the perfect balance between progress, consistency, and momentum. You remember the things that happened last session. You can make tweaks. It's enough rest so you can actually get stronger. It's just that perfect balance where you have enough rest days away from the gym so you can actually start to look forward to the gym. And then
so if you've seen my videos before, I train every day, but I'd never say that that's the intelligent way to do it. That's just me that's just me working around my psychology. So 2 to 3 days a week, you can definitely get results if you go hard while you're going at it. But it's all a matter of can you go sufficiently hard on those 2-3 days. And I think that's a learning curve too. But I would with a newbie, I would start with a little bit more than that. But it can work for sure.
Never becomes this overbearing thing, which is why so many guys quit and burn out. Because if you train every day, if you train 5 times, 6 times a week, then it suddenly just feels like something you have to do all the time, and it's very.
Well, I like that thing that it's you have to do it all the time. I like the regularity of this. I need that consistency. For me, I need that. For me, it's psychologically weird to take a day off. But a lot of. I guess it can feel overwhelming. But I'd much rather, if I'm training every day, I would much rather do a little bit of every day than a massive workout every day. Obviously, that's gonna be taking a major chunk out of your life. But I don't think also that's not really an issue either, because fitness should be a major part of your life, even if you're not like a fitness guy per se. But this is the laziest way. So let's see. To be fair, he is trying to make a point of how to make it to get it done as little as possible, with as little as possible, and I definitely agree. You just need to have 2-3 hard sessions, and you can build a decent aesthetic. If you can't do that, then something's wrong. Yeah, let's keep going.
Easy to lose that motivation, lose that enthusiasm. And for the busy guys amongst you, I have a guy who I coached who's really busy. He just trains twice a week and he's building mad consistency, getting stronger, getting great results. So just train 2 to 3 times a week. Step 2, you want to lift.
Yeah, let's get that. 2 to 3 times a week can definitely work if aesthetic is your only goal. It's not enough for conditioning, but it is enough for build strength and build muscle, and with the conjunction of good diet.
mostly compound movements. I always talk about the 80-20 rule. 80% of your focus of your workout routine itself should be on compound movements that train multiple muscle groups. This is the lazy way. You might be thinking, oh, those compound movements are really difficult, but this is the way you kill 3 birds with 1 stone. When you do an incline bench, not only are you getting your chest, you're getting your shoulders, you're getting your triceps, all of those, and even your abs when you do free weight compound movements. So you're working 4 things, as opposed to a guy who has an ab day, a chest day, an arm day, a back.
Well, I do still have an ab day, but funny enough, I did just a basic compounds, not really like any. I didn't really do any lower body compound. I just sprinted that day, but yeah, I did pull-ups, push-ups, and sprints. Like that's as minimalist as it gets. And my abs got sore afterwards, even though I do a specific isolation for abs. They still got sore from just. So they can definitely like this. You can definitely get a lot of work in through the basic stuffs. And you know the compounds. That's basic stuff. It's the more question really for beginners is becomes like how can you really push as hard as you possibly could in compounds? Because I personally couldn't when I was a beginner. Like they would just wreck me too hard. So I started with like building up from the isolation movements. So and now I can do like I can do these minimalistic type of workouts where I just do a few sets of compounds and then I'm done, and it gives me a good stimulation. But back then it wouldn't give me a good stimulation. So it's all like, where are you at as a guy who trains?
He's doing 4 times the work as you, whereas you're just a lazy guy leaning back, pressing some bar weights, and boom, you just look great. Overhead press, same idea. You work all 3 heads of the shoulder, you work your triceps, you work your whole body, in fact, your core, your back, your legs even to stabilize, your upper chest. So overhead press, again, amazing exercise. Compare that with a guy who's doing upright rows for the front, lateral raises for the side, and then rear delt fries for the back. I'm not saying those exercises have no place in the routine. I mean, you can use them.
Yeah, you gotta spam lateral raises.
Those exercises to great effect, but they form the 20%. The meat, the bread, the butter, the whatever you call it, the main course, the 80% has to be the compound movements, and that's actually how you train in this kind of efficiently lazy way. Does that make sense? Another thing that you should take into account is just do 1 to 3 sets. The most.
But yeah, I mean, there's like a dichotomy here, like what does the lazy mean? Like doing bunch of lateral raises is not as hard as doing a heavy overhead press, you know. So it's like, is it really lazy? Yeah, okay, you do 3 sets of overhead press and you'll probably be done with the workout, whereas with lateral raises and rear delts and all of that, you could end up spending like 6 to 10 sets or something. But it's not, is that hard? Like it's not hard exercise. It's much harder to do the overhead press. So it's like you're lazy in a different kind of way. If you do all isolates, because I viewed the kind of bodybuilding split that I did, kind of almost all isolations exercise style that I did, I saw it as a lazy way. But obviously it took more time. You just have to take your time going through all the small muscles. But the systemic demand of the exercise was much lower. So I don't know. Like, is that any lazier in the end? I don't know.
Sets that I'll do for an exercise is 3 sets when it comes to these big compound movements. Sometimes I'll even do 1 set when it comes to certain leg exercises. Like last time I did 1 set of sissy squats, 1 set of single leg Romanian deadlifts. Mike Mensa, the OG minimalist, talks about this. 1 set that is done to the right intensity can be a great stimulus for strength, great stimulus for muscle growth. So don't be doing 4, 5, 6, 7 sets every time you go hit 1 exercise. I feel 2 sets is actually really, really good, especially with some unilateral movements where you feel like you're doing one side, next side, one side, next side. Experiment with the 2 set method. 1 to 3.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the past 3 sets, you're really hitting the diminishing returns. Like I think there was some study that said that to get the same stimulus as the first set or first couple of sets, you have to do like 5 sets more, like same additional. So it's like you get most of the benefit already from 1 or 2 sets if you hit them hard. So it's like, for time efficiency, indeed, You really don't need to do any more than that. And I've been experimenting with more volume, and it really didn't give me much more results. And most importantly, it's like it just drained me from my recovery capacity. So I think I definitely fully agree with that point.
Sets. Boom, the lazy way. Next is you want to lift in the 4 to 10 rep range. Again, super lazy. You don't even want to go above 10. If you see a lot of guys in the gym, they're doing like 3 sets of 15 reps, 5 sets of 10, all this kind of stuff. None of that. You're a lazy guy. You're doing 4 reps and you take fat rest periods. Take 6 reps, 8 reps. The most you'll ever go on the lighter exercises, maybe you go up to 10 reps. 4 reps to 8 reps is the perfect range to get stronger, because you can actually get stronger in that rep range before burning out, and you can build muscle. You can actually cause muscle hypertrophy. So stay in that 4 to 10 rep range, absolute sweet spot. Now, if you want...
Yeah, I like going a little higher, but that's not wrong. I mean, you can definitely build muscle and get stronger in just that range. I mean, but I do like to go hit a little bit higher, because I get better mind-muscle connection, better form. Like, you can kind of cheat your way to like 8 reps or so, but you know, if you're doing really clean reps, you know, the weight usually is light enough that you can go past 12 even. But you know, like I like one set to be like 6 to 10, and the other set be 10 to 15. But you know, it's not wrong to go for like 4 to 6 and 8 to 10. It's not wrong. It can definitely work.
The exact system that I use, my rep ranges, my sets, you just literally train like 3 hours a week and you build an aesthetic body, V-taper, and you want to take the guesswork out of it and just follow what I do, hit the first link in the description, Aesthetic Body Blueprint. It's a game changer. It's the laziest way. Next, you want to rest a lot. Now, imagine we had like one of those David Attenborough camera follow crew, like documentary style, and you were filming me in the gym. They were filming you in the gym as well. I guarantee you, I will be resting more than you. Now, that's maybe not true, because maybe you don't even gym, you're just resting on the couch the whole time. I'm talking about the guys that actually go to the gym. You probably don't rest enough. Now, when you talk about power lifters, these guys be resting a long time, like 5 minute plus, because they realize that in order to perform like maximal strength capacity, they not only need to recover their breath and their muscle, they need to recover their CNS, their mental, their neurological readiness has to come up again. And it's the same for us. What you do when you're trying to get stronger in the 4 to 10 rep range.
Yeah, the rest periods are kind of majoring minors kind of thing. But I think if you're doing the same exercise in a row, 5 minutes, sweet spot, probably. Like any longer than that, then you're not probably gaining anything more, and any less than that, you're probably not as strong as you could be. But if you're like supersetting like opposite movements or something, then maybe you could get away with 3 or 4 minutes of rest. And, you know, it will still be a sweet spot for that. But, you know, it's kind of majoring in minors kind of thing. But, you know, you definitely do need to rest. Like I see a lot of like, I remember I saw this guy occupying the tricep extension machine, the tricep push down machine. And he was doing like few reps like this, and then he would rest like 30 seconds, and then he would do, like, none of the sets were to the max or anywhere near maximum. And, you know, the rest was so short that he was basically turning the exercise into cardio. So you don't want to do that. You want to rest long enough that you can go hard during the set, and then you know, it takes a while to rest. You can't go hard immediately after, like if you really go to the max. Or you don't necessarily need to go all the way to the max, but you do need to go very close to it. And I do think beginners should go to the absolute failure, because they're just not so experienced. So, you know, it's better to find out the actual spot where you failed than think that, oh, okay, I was close to failure there, when it turns out that you still had 5 reps in the tank.
Is between each set, take big rest. When I do negatives training, which is a big part of building up to certain key exercises, I like to take 1 minute rest even between a rep. And between exercises, I'm usually resting 3 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, 6 minutes. What do I do while I rest? I just walk around, get my steps in.
Yeah, well, for once I'm lazier than this guy. I can take longer rest, and I can do 10 minutes. I tend to get distracted very easily when I'm exercising. That's what, I train here at home. So actually, I'm actually at the point where I'm setting the timer to beep for me when it's like maybe 5 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever. Like I just talked. So that I keep myself focused on the stuff, because the rest period really doesn't matter. As long as you stay warmed up, it doesn't matter. As long as you stay warmed up and do the sets and go hard during the set, the rest doesn't matter. Now, obviously, it can become an issue if you're 3 hours in the gym. By the 3 hours in, even though you've been just mostly standing around or walking around, doing just few sets, you will still get fatigued, even though you've not done anything. So you might as well get the sets in a timely order, timely manner.
Just chill. Think about that. How lazy is that? Meanwhile, most guys are like with the phone, like timing the, okay, got 30 seconds to rest. And they're not
30 seconds is way too little. That's turning it into a cardio session.
even resting. Mentally, they're not even resting. Because they're always like, oh, got 10 seconds left. Oh, what do I have to think about for 10 seconds to make me feel better? Okay, 10, 5, 4. Okay, let's go again. And you're sweating. What the hell is that? Meanwhile, I'm just doing 4 reps, chilling. 5 minutes, going on again, doing 6 reps, just chilling. That is the lazy way. And ironically, it's freaking effective at building crazy strength, setting personal records, and building great muscle. So rest a lot next. Now, most people think about protein like, okay, I need to just get more protein. So they're like, how much protein can I get? Okay, let me get a protein shake, let me get chicken breast, let me get eggs, let me get this. And it's like protein. And then you get like 180 grams of protein, right? And you're like, wow, that's amazing. Except you've probably gone way over your daily caloric goal. So you've eaten at probably a surplus and you feel super full. It's really costly. And the next day you're like, shit, I gotta do that every day? Like, how am I gonna do that? Not enough people talk about this. So as a guy who's trying to build an aesthetic body in the lazy way, you don't want to start by just maxing out protein. What you want to do is change the ratio.
Is 180 grams of protein so much? I don't know. I kind of feel like you should be hitting that. It shouldn't be hard.
Start by changing the protein to carb ratio. Increase the protein, lower the carbs. Now, for any Asians watching this, we grew up on masses of carbs, right? Carbs is our main, and then the meat and all the other stuff is like our side dish. Whereas in the West, usually it's like the steak's the main and the potatoes the side, right? So for us Asians, the biggest low-hanging fruit, biggest win you can do is just lower the amount of rice you put on the plate and increase the amount of meat you put on the plate. So the meat becomes the main and the carb.
Well, usually there is a lower hanging fruit on your diet than the rice, because rice is just calorie per gram basically, so it's not that calorie intensive. But so I mean, your diet is already very good if rice is your biggest issue.
Becomes the little friend. Just stop.
I mean, the principle is correct, but I'm just saying in general what I've seen. If rice is your biggest problem, then you're already starting at a pretty good point.
By doing that and start having what I'm going to start calling protein dominant meals. That's the only switch you need to make as step 1. Step 2, you can add shakes, because shakes allow you to add protein without
Bite it, sip it, drink it. Just add zero.
complicating, buying groceries, cooking, Protein shakes are great. Okay, I haven't had protein shakes in a long time because I just love cooking and I love having great meat and stuff. But recently, over the summer when I'm trying to get lean and it's a little difficult and I want to increase the ratio without pumping up the total caloric intake, boom, protein shakes from the convenience store close to my house, and they taste freaking amazing. Give you a couple more tips, just having...
Yeah, it's just so easy nowadays. It's just so easy. Yeah, protein shakes are legit. Like, you add 2 shakes, you can eat like 120 grams from food, and then you'll hit 200 grams with ease with a couple of shakes. Now, obviously, it's not as good as just eating the food, eating the protein, but it does the job. Like, that's plenty. That's gonna be plenty enough for protein to build muscle for sure.
Frozen chicken breast that you defrost every day, maybe once or 3 times a week, maybe. Minced beef, just having minced beef, like good minced beef with salt or butter, just with a little bit of rice, having some fish sauce on there if you're like into that Asian taste. Super delicious. If you want to just get 6 eggs in, this is really good. I have some Greek yogurt.
Rookie numbers, gotta pump those up.
Which is really good. So those are my protein sources, and it's a very lazy way to do it because those are single ingredient foods that you can...
I let you eat like 9 eggs a meal.
just get and then just eat, and the protein's good. Take advantage of that. Next is to sleep a lot. Be a Snorlax. Now, Snorlax is a fat Pokemon, so I'm not saying become like Snorlax, but Snorlax sleeps a lot, and that's what you want to do.
Yeah, sleep is the closest thing to steroids you can get as a natural. So it's like that you get all the growth hormone excretion. Like you don't sleep well, you fuck your hormones up. You fuck your whole rhythm of your body. You wanna eat the whole house. Your workout is gonna suck because you don't have any energy. It's the most important thing that there is. Like, he should have started with it, to be fair. Like like you fuck up sleep, you fuck up everything else. Like, it's just a cascade effect. Sleep is really the start of
Sleep
everything.
nowadays is becoming recognized as one of the most important things for not just your overall health, but for proper muscle building and fat loss. You repair and build muscle while you sleep. You lose fat when you sleep. You actually struggle to lose fat if you're on low sleep. Plus, when you have high stress as a result of bad sleep, you're more
Yeah, I mean, this is a well-studied topic for once. Like, a lot of there might be contention about some things, but this is a well-studied thing, and the sleep gotta be fixed. Which is ironic because I always, my entire life, I struggled with sleep. And I'm doing this video now because I for once had a good sleep and got up early.
likely to binge eat, you're more likely to fall off your patterns. When you have crappy sleep, you have lower dopamine, which controls your motivation. So you're more likely to fall off your training routine and your diet. So imagine you're a lazy guy. The best thing you can do is just sleep like 8 hours, 10 hours, just sleep loads. Don't start listening to all these productivity gurus that are like, I sleep 5 hours and just work my ass off. Just
I mean, you gotta have the genetics for that. It's never gonna be real for me, for instance, because I legit need over 8 hours, or I'm gonna like I can do 7 hours a night for like few nights, and then I'm just gonna crash eventually. Like, I need to sleep like 12 hours. So some people can handle the low sleep, like they're naturally, like they have whatever genetics that may allow them to be rested with less sleep. But if you're one of those people or not.
sleep loads and sleep in a dark ass room, sleep after having taken some magnesium and theanine, sleep by training well in the AM so you're actually tired and deserving of sleep in the evening. Don't eat too close to bedtime, cut out all the lights like 1 to 2 hours before your bed. Boom, simple things, guys. Improve your sleep. That's the lazy way. Next, you want
I
to
mean, really, this video is turning out to be just the ABCs, the basics of training in general. Like, it's not it's not really that lazy method in the end. It's just a normal method. Like the only thing that's maybe like lazy is their training frequency. Like, most people do train more like 4 to 5 times a week rather than 2 to 3 times a week. But aside that, this is just what I hear, the general training advice, and what I agree with too. Like this will work if you execute the process well. This process will work.
eat 1 to 2 times a day. If you're a lazy guy, you don't want to be chopping up onions 3 times a day. You don't
I actually, this is interesting because this was the advice I gave when I said when I was on my diet. Like, I didn't change anything else in my diet. I ate the same meals, but I just cut 1 meal out, so it's like 2 meals. So now I'm at a deficit, but nothing feels like it changed because I just skip breakfast. Lunch becomes my breakfast, and it's the same as what I used to have for my breakfast, and then I'd have like a big dinner like I had always before. So nothing felt like it changed, but the calories were cut from like 3,000 to 2,000, give or take. Obviously, there was like small alterations towards the end. I had to start to like eat a little bit less towards the end, but yeah, I was eating only 2 times a day. Now, though, I don't know if that I would give that advice, though. Like, I wonder, like, if I lost more muscle than I would have needed to lose because of that. Like, maybe it would have been better to have normal 3 meals, just smaller meals, more protein. I don't know. But let's see what the guy says.
want to be like, mix him up eggs with like some special saffron, whatever, risotto rice, and making it every day. Because preparing it, thinking about the recipe, buying it, cleaning it, like scraping the egg off the pan, all of these are just extra things that you do like 3 days because you're motivated, and then you're like, Jesus, I'm not doing that again. So don't be doing so many of those meals. Just do one meal a day, which works amazing for so many people. One meal a day, I tried it, I can't sustain it. I just get a little bit too hungry in the middle of the day. So I do 2 meals a day. I do a lunch and I do a dinner. And you can call that intermittent fasting. You can call that 2 meals a day. You can call that 1.5 meals a day because my lunch is pretty light. But that's the setup. Just be lazy. Just don't have breakfast. Just eat once or eat twice. And what is the...
I mean, we're talking about laziest way. I mean, maybe it's not, maybe what I said is correct, like it's not optimal, but it works. You can definitely look good. I was lean. I got very lean with that. And yeah, it can definitely work. So, I mean, it's not ideal, but it works.
The added benefit of that is that if you're a big portion eater like me, then you're going to be able to eat like proper big portions.
And as far as the preparation, like the practical aspects go, I mean, you can always just cook once or twice a day, or meal prep for the whole week, and then just eat whatever you want. But you know, if you cook a lot, you can just spread it over 2 meals as well, so, or 3 meals or whatever. Like, you don't have to eat all of it in one go. Simple.
And still get fairly lean. Next, instead of doing so much cardio, just walk slowly like a pregnant woman with a dog. Everybody is doing running, they're buying these clothes, they're doing climbing, everybody's doing some crazy cardio. Cycling, jiu-jitsu, I
don't see climbing as cardio. Climbing is more like movement skill work. It's not... I mean, there is a cardio component, especially if you're out of shape, but like if you're a cardio guy like me, I don't think... I mean, I guess it would be a low-grade cardio. I mean, that skill work is low-grade cardio, for sure.
Of course, those things are great. Keep doing them. They're great for your health and da. If you're a lazy guy and you just want to look good, build muscle, get lean, you don't need to do none of that. Just double down on walking, and don't even walk fast. Walk like slow AF, like a pregnant woman with a dog, and just try to get 10k steps, 12k steps a day. Divide that up if you want. 2 walks a day. Just be a lazy bum and just walk real slow. That's it. You follow those 8 steps. That is possibly the laziest way to...
Yeah, I mean, this fully agrees with everything I've said. Like, you know, you eat well. And yeah, I mean, it's not really that what lazy way so much as it's just basics. Like the walking a lot, that's just another way to phrase like lead an active lifestyle outside of just training. So yeah, walking is one way to achieve it. You should walk everywhere that you can walk. There's no reason not to walk if it's a walking distance. So yeah, I fully agree. I agree. I walk a lot, but I mean, I do running too. Like, you're not gonna build like real cardio off of walking, but it will do something, and it's good for your metabolism. It's good to add a little bit of extra calorie consumption, calorie expenditure rather, and yeah, I mean, it was very basic video in the end. I didn't know what I expected, but like it's just the basics 101.
Build muscle and lose fat and build an aesthetic body that actually looks good in and out of clothes.
I mean, I've always said, if you just do the basics right,
you want this,
there's no reason you should not look at least this good. Like okay, I look a little softer now myself because I'm a tail end of a bulk, but like you just dial in the body composition and you'll be fine. Let's see what the comments say. Optimal way to train. I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, I wouldn't, like, yeah, exactly. If most people would come to train with me, I would put them to a routine that's something like that. Probably 3 times a week, full body, compound movements, whatever compounds I can do here. You know, my gym is kind of built for my own method, which was based around more isolation work. But you know, I can still do like chin-ups, pull-ups, push-ups, trap bar deadlift, overhead press with dumbbells, but you know, not buttons with the bar. That basic stuff can be done. Yeah, sleep is underrated. It's the most important thing, really. I mean, he only said one of the most, but it is the most important. Now, of course, you do need to train and you need to watch what you eat, but sleeping just facilitates all of that. But yeah, you can't, like we are, most of us are lazy, so people kind of like end up doing the same kind of naturally. Yeah, I agree with this play a sport. Like it makes the cardio, like it puts also context for your training. So a lot of people lack context, and they talk about like these buzzwords like functional, which doesn't mean anything if there is no context for it. Like functional for what? Like, again, if you're doing a sport, then you have clear measuring stick of how functional what you're doing is. If you're getting worse at the sport, then it's obviously not functional. If you're getting better at the sport, then it is functional. But people like to throw that word around to kind of muddle the waters, really, because that there's no measurable there. There's no accountability there. So you can just say functional and like, okay, well, what the hell are you doing? It's basic stuff. There's nothing like, nothing was surprising here, to be honest. Like, and I don't really fundamentally disagree with anything. It's maybe some style differences, maybe some preferences differences, but like in a level of principle, I agree with everything said here. So is this the laziest way? I don't know. Like I said, I think isolation stuff can be the lazy way too. But if, I guess he kind of equates lazy with time efficient. Because, doing a set of hard overhead presses, it's much more strenuous than doing a hard set of lateral raises with the cables or something. Now, both are hard if you really take them to the max, but like it's a different kind of hard. So I don't know. It's also good to see like this guy is like roughly as fit as I am. I don't know his measurements, like his metrics, like what kind of like lifts are he doing.
Not all toothpastes are made.
Yeah, it's really the most important thing aside all the stuff that was mentioned there is that you get lean, have like a lean physique, cut down low enough that your abs and everything shows. Like that's the thing. The most important thing about the aesthetics is really that they have some delt pop and that stuff is lean. Like you don't even need that much muscle. Yeah, I'm gonna see you next time. Like if you made it this far in the video, drop a comment. But yeah, I think this was really basic stuff. Like you should already know this. But it's sound advice. Just follow those things, and you can't go too wrong for sure.